start what are the branches of chemistry and some basic concepts in that. Okay, so firstly, see what are the branches present in the chemistry. See, first one, organic chemistry. Organic chemistry. So the second one, inorganic chemistry. Inorganic chemistry, and next one, physical chemistry. Physical chemistry, and another one is analytical chemistry. Analytical chemistry. Another one is biochemistry. Biochemistry. So these are the branches of important branches of chemistry. See, what is organic chemistry? Organic chemistry means simply it is a study of compounds containing carbon. That means study of carbon compounds. What is organic chemistry? Study of carbon compounds. Carbon compounds means like CH4, it is a carbon compound, and C2H6 and CH3, C double bond O CH3 is also carbon compound, and CH3 COOH, etc. So these all study of alkanes means CH4, study of acetone which is called carbonyl compound, it is also carbon compounds. Okay, and CH3COH organic acid which is acetic acid. So study of carbon compounds is nothing but organic chemistry. Okay, so next, what is inorganic chemistry? So inorganic chemistry means simply study of elements except carbon. That means the study of elements except carbon. The study of elements except carbon, we call it as inorganic chemistry. That means in inorganic chemistry, we are going to study about elements. Okay, like first day group elements, second day group elements, about their brief chemical properties, physical properties, that and all will come in the inorganic chemistry. Compounds like sulfuric acid H2SO4 and compounds like nitric acid HNO3. Okay, their structures, properties, chemical reactions, and everything we are studying in the inorganic chemistry. Okay, the study of elements except carbon is said to be inorganic chemistry. Next, what is physical chemistry means study of physical properties of matter. Study of physical properties of matter. Physical properties of matter means what is the structure of a molecule, what is its shape, and what are the bondings present between two atoms. What are the bonds present between types of bonds present between two atoms, and what is the energy of a molecule. So these all comes under the physical chemistry side. Okay, so what is the physical chemistry means? It is the branch of chemistry which deals with the physical properties of a matter like bond angles, energy of a molecule, and bonds type of bond which holds the two atoms. Okay, and what is the shape of a molecule? What is the geometry of a molecule? This and all will comes under the physical chemistry. So in our PU standards, we are mainly focusing on three branches. In our PU standards, we are mainly focusing on organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, and physical chemistry. Okay. So what are the main branches we are studying in the PU standards? PU1 and PU2 means these only organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, and physical chemistry. So what is analytical chemistry? Simply, what is analytical chemistry means simply it's a branch of chemistry that deals with the detection of compounds or mixes and their proportions of constituents in a compound. That means it deals with the study of detection of compounds and mixes which is qualitative, that means simply suppose if we take a certain compound like NaCl compound, you are taken, that means you are taken some quantity of salt. So what analytical chemistry will say means first by doing some experiments like chromatography method or titration methods or precipitation methods, by using certain methods they will say qualitatively what are the ions present in our substance. First they will say what are the ions present in that given, what are the ions present in the substance. In NaCl salt you are taken means what are the ions means Na plus is present and another one is Cl minus. That is called as qualitative analysis. Qualitative analysis means if you have certain mixture or a compound, in that compound what are the ions present, that information is given by qualitative analysis. And a quantitative analysis means how much amount of that each one is present. If you take in this bulk, in that how much amount of Na plus is there, how much amount of Cl minus N is there, that is given by quantitative analysis. Quantitative analysis. Okay, so that is the analytical chemistry. That means the study of detection of compounds and mixes, which is nothing but qualitative analysis, or proportions of constituents in a compound. Suppose first of all, if you take NaCl, what are the constituent particles in a NaCl compound means Na plus and Cl minus ion are constituent particles. So how much are they means 1 mole of, if you take 1 NaCl, 1 mole of NaCl you are taken means 1 mole of Na plus 1 mole of Cl minus ion is present. That is called quantitative analysis. Okay, so simply the study of detection of compounds and mixes is nothing but analytical chemistry. So simply what is biochemistry means simply the study of reactions takes place in living organisms. Study of reactions takes place in living organisms. So what are the reactions occurring in the living organisms? That and all we are studying in the biochemistry. These are the important branches of chemistry. Okay, so firstly you are mainly concentrating on, in the PU standards you are mainly focusing on physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry and organic chemistry. Okay, So physical, inorganic and organic are branches. ఇది కాన్స్టెంట్. Okay, now see what is an element. What is an element in according to chemistry? So what is an element means simply an element is a pure substance. Pure substance. Pure substance which cannot be divided into two or more substances. See what is an element means? It is the purest form of a substance which cannot be divided into two or more substances. That means we cannot divide this into further. Okay, so these elements are examples of these elements are hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon, etc. So oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. These are the elements. That means what is an element? It is a pure form of substance which cannot be divided into two or more substances. That means indivisible. We can't divide further. Okay, so that is called as element. Okay, next see what is a compound. What is a compound? So what is a compound means substance. What is a compound means nothing but substance, but which is formed by the combination of two or more elements by fixed proportion. Firstly, for compound, take one example like H2O. We can say it is one compound. So what is the composition of H2O means hydrogen and oxygen. So here if you take 1 mole of H2O, here how many hydrogen atoms? 2 hydrogen atoms must be fixed and 1 oxygen atom must be fixed. So like that, if we take another compound like benzene, C6H6. So here, what are the elements present in this? What you call benzene means carbon and hydrogen. So their composition will be fixed. So 6 hydrogen atoms are must, and 6 carbon atoms are must, and 6 hydrogen atoms are must in this one compound. One C6H6 compound, 6 carbon atoms are fixed, and 6 hydrogen atoms are fixed. So here, what is called as compound? What is a compound? Compound is a substance which is formed by the combination of 2 or more elements by a fixed ratio. See, the ratio of this carbon and hydrogen is 6:6, which is 1:1. So the ratio is fixed. If you take H2O to form, if you take one compound, H2O compound, you have taken 2 hydrogen atoms should be present, 1 oxygen atom. Their ratio is 2:1 ratio of hydrogens, 2:1 ratio of hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, here what is the meaning? What is a compound means? It is a substance. It is the substance. Okay, which are formed by the combination of 2 or more elements by a fixed ratio. So suppose if you take ammonia NH3. So if I take NH3 ammonia. So here to form an ammonia, 2 elements are must. One is nitrogen, one is nitrogen. Nitrogen and hydrogen are must. So the ratio means nitrogen is 1. If you take one NH3, one NH3 compound you have taken, 1 nitrogen is must, and 3 hydrogens are must. So the ratio is 1:3. Nitrogen is to hydrogen ratio is 1:3. So that is the compound's existence. So here, what is a compound? Compound is a substance. Compound is the substance which is formed by the combination of 2 or more elements in a fixed ratio. So like that, if you take one more compound like anything, you have taken like PCl5. So here if you take one PCl5, here one phosphorus is must, phosphorus 1, and chlorine is 5 chlorines, 5Cl. So their ratio is 1:5. Phosphorus is to chlorine ratio is 1:5. The ratio is fixed in that compound. Okay, so what is a compound means? Is a substance which is formed by the chemical combination of two or more elements by fixed ratio. Example, H2O. Elements are hydrogen and oxygen. Their ratio is 2:1. Their ratio is 2:1. So if you take one H2O compound, how many elements combination it is? 2 elements combination it is. It is the 2 elements combination. What are the ratio is? Ratio is 2:1. It is fixed ratio. Okay, one H2O compound you have taken means the hydrogen H2O oxygen ratio is 2:1. It is fixed ratio. And like that, if you take C6H6, you have taken means carbon and hydrogen are the elements. Their ratio is 6:6. That is simplification 1:1 ratio. 1:1 ratio. That is a fixed ratio of a compound. Okay, compound C6H6. Okay, next see. Sorry, here we forgot the types of elements. We forgot. See the types of elements. Okay, about substance completed now. See what are the types of elements. their chemical behavior or basing on their nature, chemical nature, these elements are again divided into metals. These elements are divided into metals. And another one is non-metals. Another one is metalloids. So here elements, what are elements? Elements are the purest form of a substance which cannot be divided into two or more substances like hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, like helium, xenon. These and all will come under the category of elements. So again, here based on their chemical nature, these elements are three types. So one is metals, non-metals, and metalloids. So what are metals means? These are the elements having electrons losing tendency. The elements having tendency to lose electrons, The elements having tendency to lose electrons are called as metals. What are metals? Metals are the elements having a tendency to lose electrons. That means metals will have electrons losing tendency. Okay. So next, non-metals will have electrons gaining tendency. Electrons gaining tendency or tendency to gain electrons. Tendency to gain electrons. That means is nothing but non-metals. Tendency to gain electrons. Here, tendency to lose electrons. Okay. The elements having tendency to lose electrons are called metals. Now, examples: sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and mercury, which is liquid. What is a liquid metal in the periodic table means Hg, mercury. What is a liquid metal in the periodic table means Hg. Okay, so etc. So these metals will have electrons losing tendency. Okay, so that means these elements will have electrons losing tendency. That's why they are considered under the category of metals. Okay, non-metals means what? The elements having tendency to gain electrons is called as non-metals. Non-metals have this tendency, electrons gaining tendency. Okay, examples: oxygen, sulfur, and bromine, iodine, etc. And like helium, also you can say neon. Okay, so these all comes under the category of non-metals. Okay, and what are metalloids? Metalloids will exhibit both metallic character. Metallic character means electrons losing tendency, and exhibits non-metallic character, that is electron gaining tendency. That is called as metalloids. Metalloids, they exhibit both metals and non-metal properties. Okay. Exhibits metals and non-metal properties. Metals and non-metals properties. Example: boron, silicon, germanium, etc. These are the metalloids. What are metalloids means? Simply metalloids will shows metal properties as well as non-metal properties. That's why they are called as metalloids. Okay, examples boron, silicon, germanium. Okay, are the some elements which shows metallic and as well as non-metallic properties. Okay, so these are the types of elements. Okay, so the elements based on their behavior or nature we are dividing into three types: metals, non-metals, metalloids. Okay, metals means they have a tendency to lose electrons. Non-metal means they have a tendency to gain electrons. And metalloids means they have both the characters of metals and non-metals. Okay, and next important point is what is an atom? What is an atom? See, what is an atom means simply atom is the smallest part of an element. Atom is the smallest part of an element which cannot exist independently. This atom cannot exist independently. So, see what is an atom? The smallest part of an element. The smallest part of an element which cannot exist independently, independently is called an atom. So what is an atom? Atom is the smallest part of an element. It doesn't exist independently. So if you take an atom like hydrogen or oxygen, and carbon. So these etc. So these are the atoms of an element which cannot exist independently. They doesn't exist independently. Okay. So this is the definition of an atom. Okay. Now see what I am going to say is so this is enough for today. And here one important point I have to say regarding chemistry, that is so every day while listening the class you should put 100% concentration. So that means you should not deviate anywhere while listening the class, because the most important thing is chemistry is the most volatile subject. Okay, so to get the interest, so first of all you should show 100% concentration. Okay, so without putting 100% concentration you can't remember these all points. Okay, so why? Because means chemistry involves a lot of chemical equations react and the definitions. Okay, and lot of conditions are there in chemical reactions. So to remember all these things while listening the class, you should put 100% concentration. Okay, thank you. Good day.